What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another Rent-A-Girlfriend manga review. We are on chapter 434, and before I even start reviewing this chapter, I just want to say, obviously, I read the chapter before I make the video, obviously, but this is definitely one of the more boring chapters I think I've ever reviewed on this channel so far, and maybe all of Rent-A-Girlfriend. This is just like absolutely just straight filler, dude. So if you don't even want to watch this video, man, I don't blame you, because there's really nothing going on whatsoever in this chapter. Anyway, getting right into it, we see Kazuya going into his first kind of internship job thing, right? And we can see here this dude is dressed like an absolute nerd, some like absolute elementary school nerd right here, take my lunch money type shit, you know what I'm saying, dude? What is that fit, bro? Who pulls up with that, dude? I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he is going into a corporation, right? And it's a pretty big corporation, so clap it up for fucking Kazuya, you know what I'm saying? Land the fucking shit, man. Getting good. And then we get our cover art, and we can see our four characters represented in this chapter right here. We can see the two girls who are basically NPCs, but the guy in the back actually does matter. We'll talk about him later in this video, but you can see Kazuya stealing. Look at this guy. This guy is stealing the girl's pose in front of him right here. Kazuya, I didn't know we were laying that low, bro. We can chillax a little bit there. We don't have to steal the person's pose in front of us. You know what I'm saying, man? Anyway, right here on this page, we get to see a glimpse of what Kazuya, is going through in the certain situation he's in right now, right? He's trying to figure out a way to, make conversation with all the other interns that are in his group, basically, right? And he's kind of fucking it up, basically, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of worried about anxiety stuff, all the Kazuya stuff that you know about already by now. But Kazuya obviously is wondering, how do I break the ice? How do we start conversations here? But then this absolute giga chat right here, I think his name is Shuichiro, I'm pretty sure, comes out of nowhere, and he just like breaks the ice so comfortably, so much aura, dude. You can see the white outline radiating off his character because he has so much aura, obviously. Anyway, you can see how this guy's dressed, you know what I'm saying? He's here to basically ball the fuck out, you know what I'm saying, dude? He's impressing everyone, bro. It's over for like all the other people, you know what I'm saying, dude? This guy is already locked in. And then we see Kazuya, doing that typical Kazuya thing where he just like struggles to handshake someone, obviously, right? But you can see how Shuichi goes to everyone in the group, right? And he's like, hey, I'm Shuichi, who are you? All the bullshit, you know what I'm saying, dude? But you can see how easy it is for Shuichi compared to Kazuya, right? Which is why I think the writer is trying to get out here, right? You can see Shuichi he is locked in, you know what I'm saying, dude? He is come for the fucking job, basically, bro. He's destroying all the other contestants, all the other interns, it doesn't matter. And then we see Kazuya kind of appreciate Shuichi, right? He says, oh, it's impressive how Shuichi kind of came in and broke the barrier between them, right? He made the fucking conversation, it started flowing a little bit better, obviously, right? And then we see probably the worst part about this, the fucking orientation share, whatever the fuck, dude. So this nerd right here in the glasses decides to go up and give like a 20 billion fucking word speech right here that no one really cares about, obviously. But basically the premise is that they are having to give a group name for their group, obviously, and they're going to give like some sort of problem for the groups, and they have to like, solve the problem, basically, right? And we see, obviously, in Kazuya's group, you have Kazuya, Shuichi, and the two girls, and Kazuya's like, he's struggling to fucking make a group, basically, a group name, something that doesn't really even matter, to be honest, right? But Shuichi, as you can see, comes in, he's like, okay, let's name our group Coco-chan, whatever the fuck that is. But I mean, apparently it works. But apparently Coco-chan is kind of this hidden advantage here, as we see Shuichi kind of explain, why he's using Coco-chan as their team name. And the girls, they're glazing his ass, you know what I'm saying? They're fucking just glazing all over Shuichi, obviously. But you see Kazuya down here, he's like, wow, that really kind of worked out, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of shocked a little bit about this character that is Shuichi, obviously. And, I think it's good that we have an actual dude that's halfway decent guy, you know what I'm saying, in Rent-A-Girlfriend now, so hopefully he's here to stay, basically. But then the group is designed for 3 roles, right? Kazuya ends up getting, or I wouldn't say he ends up getting, he kind of just like forces himself to get the speaker, right? So the speaker obviously goes up and, you know, presents their idea to everyone in the fucking room or whatever, right? And Kazuya's kind of, he like lied his way to being the speaker. I'm not gonna lie, dude. He says, oh, everyone tells me I have a nice voice. And then you can see right there, it says, no one has ever said that, bro. He straight up lied about that. But hey, Kazuya, you're getting the upper advantage. So I think it's good. I think it's good. Fuck it. Get the job. Who cares? And then Kazuya kind of starts glazing Shuichi a little bit, right? It seems that the story or the artist or the fucking writer, whoever the fuck, is trying to give us a difference between Shuichi and Kazuya, right? Compare the two, right? And it seems like Shuichi is just kind of way better at life, or like maybe communicating to people or something, right? Because Kazuya is clearly impressed by Shuichi's ability to just kind of say what's on his mind, like all the time to this group that they're in. And Kazuya is just absolutely just glazing the fuck out of Shuichi. I cannot lie to you guys. And from all these panels, you can clearly see how Shuichi has kind of become the leader of this group they're in, right? Anyway, right here, he says, he kind of gets Kazuya involved a little bit. He says, what do you think about the situation? You know what I'm saying, Kazuya? And Kazuya just like immediately, you know, in the bottom right, he gets stressed out. He gives an idea. Shuichi says, okay, that makes sense. But then Kazuya thinks that's a terrible idea. Even if Shuichi were lying to you, Kazuya, go with the flow, bro. Go with the flow. Shuichi said that it was a good idea, so you should be chillaxing with the idea. And then we see Shuichi kind of step into that hard-working role here. Or maybe something else. It kind of seems like Shuichi's just like doing all the work. I don't really want to say that, but it seems like Kazuya and the other two girls are like, just like leaving everything to Shuichi, which is bad, because you're not learning anything. But I guess Shuichi is the smartest person there, so I guess it makes sense, I guess, maybe. But then Shuichi comes up with this idea, and the other three members of the group, they agree on it, so they're like, all right, let's roll with that. And then we're getting closer and closer to the climax of this chapter, right? So Kazuya goes up there, right? Because he's the speaker, right? That was his role a couple pages ago or whatever, right? So he goes up there, you know, talks about the solution, right? And at first it's going pretty well, you know what I'm saying? He's talking smoothly. Everything's going pretty fucking good. But then once Kazuya, you know, gets past maybe this like third section of his writing or the whatever he's fucking supposed to say, right? He kind of stutters a little bit. He forgets what he's supposed to say, right? So we see here Shuichi steps up. Dude stands up out of his seat and takes it away from there with the last like fucking couple of words, right? Kazuya, you know, he's blushing because he's probably gay for Shuichi, as we all know, obviously, right? But I mean, Shuichi just seems like an absolute nice guy, totally good guy. Seems like a really great influence to become friends with, you know, Kazuya and Shuichi. And I mean, of course, for the plot, of course, the answer that they gave ends up being the correct answer for the Koko-chan group, right? And you can see how Kazuya, he's like, holy shit, Shuichi just saved my balls right here. These two girls are clapping, you know, they didn't really do anything anyway. I don't really know why they're even excited, because I don't think I saw the two girls do anything the entire time, but who the fuck cares? At least Kazuya went up there and spoke a little bit, bro, at minimum. So then I guess after, you know, the internship thing is over, whatever they were doing, right? Kazuya goes back up to Shuichi and he's like, you know what? Thank you, bro. Thanks for saving me up there. You know what I'm saying, dude? And Shuichi kind of just says, why are you thanking me? You know what I'm saying, dude? That's what anyone would do, basically, right? He says, we all need a little help sometimes. So Shuichi, excuse me, seems like the guy that Kazuya really needs to, like, be with. You know what I'm saying? Make friends with this guy, dude. He needs to make friends with this guy. This guy is a good role model. He's a good mentor. Follow this fucking guy. So then this dude Shuichi comments on Kazuya's voice. He says that he really liked Kazuya's voice. You know, Kazuya spoke pretty clearly before he was like struggling to remember stuff, right? He says, let's meet again in the working world, right? So it makes you think Shuichi is gonna come back, right? Shuichi's gonna come back and win a girlfriend at some point in time, maybe down the road when Kazuya, you know, gets a job, gets cheesy or whatever, right? Shuichi is gonna come back. Anyway, Kazuya ends up getting Shuichi's, you know, phone number, you know, the line thing they use in Japan, right? And, you know, you would assume that they're going to text each other. They're going to talk to each other in the future, right? We're going to see Shuichi again, right? Same thing I'm saying throughout the whole chapter, bro. Shuichi's a good character for Kazuya. It's a good mentor. It's good to have an actual bro in your life. Kazuya needs this. Kazuya fucking needs this, guys. He has too many losers in his life. Too many fucking bums. Anyway, Kazuya gets the phone number, he gets the line, right? He says, okay, I have to remember this guy, you know what I'm saying? Because this guy is now my competition, right? He is my competition for a job, obviously. But he is inherently also a good guy and a good friend to befriend, basically, right? So this is ultimately like a great bromance happening right here. But ending off this chapter, we see Kazuya finds the confidence again to, you know, do his goals or whatever, right? But really the worst part about this chapter is not the fact that it's a filler or that nothing happened. It's the fact that at the end of this chapter, it says, Shuichi, I swear I will. After that, I never saw him again. Kazuya never saw Shuichi again, even though he could easily just text him. Makes zero sense, and I don't get why we're throwing away a character like Shuichi in the first place. Anyway, this chapter, just because of the ending, drops down from a mid 5 out of 10 to a low 2 out of 10, dude. I really think Shuichi would be really great for Kazuya in his development. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're supposed to take that literally, but the last words of the chapter are literally, we're never going to see him again. Why? Why even add him in the first place, to be honest? Because, like, why? Like, there's no point of this chapter even existing if Shuichi is not going to become a major character later on for Kazuya. Makes zero sense. Trash chapter. Anyway, I'll see all of you next Tuesday for hopefully a better chapter of Rent-A-Girlfriend over this atrocity of a good character being wasted like that. It really makes me sad. Maybe the author was just joking it up, you know what I'm saying? Laughing it up, trolling it up, basically. And maybe we'll see Shuichi again. Probably not, though. Just because it's Rent-A-Girlfriend, right? And we need to throw all the girls in the fucking story. Slow to shit.